باش جالي أوردرين بارز قالوا هدو فيلم الاستيباغ دوك يعني الدولتي برای وصله أمریکا مپنال سر ریباز سینمای هندیا هی و درباره پیروز کردن سرگرفتن کلتوری و گران چیروک سینمایی هندی. أمریکا خوشحالی و گله شرفمندی که جناب بارز ولات هندستان به آمده بوده و دیگر جناب کنسول ولات هندستان که جی بره گل آمده بوده گل اندام میوان دیت هندی و آنجی گل پانالتانه البته دیما گفتگوها که چرا تصنع بید سر بابت سینمای هندی هم دانیم کلتوری گرویدای هندستان و که آوازی گلک زمان و گلک کلتوری جدا جدا گلک نتاو گلک دولمندی یا کلتوری هایی که وکی همه هندیک گل ولات می کردستان که هفچون اکشی هایی بشیوازه که گوشی دی میخوانت مده بهتر خویا کنم دی رون کرن سردن ویجا ام دیو داخازی جناب بارویزی اوی پیشنیار کرد که دست پیک امش سینما کاران و اندام دی دست پیک کن او دی مطار خو دیگری دا باشیه. So welcome everyone, welcome Your Excellency, and so we will start with Madam Gauri. And so you are an actress and famous in India, and we are really honored to have you in the film festival in Duhok as a president of the jury. And so what is the Indian cinema and how that be connected to a global audience in your opinion? Sorry.
First of all, good morning everybody, and good morning sir. It's much an honor sitting next to you and holding the mic, and thank you CG Madan Gopalji, thank you Mr. Vadivelu, thank you Mr. Hitesh, and thank you KSK, and thank you the entire team present over here. So treating this as an honor to sit here as the president of jury, also representing India, and thank you Saman for that question. How the regional, the Indian cinema is connecting to the world audience, is that what you asked me? First thing, whenever I was traveling to GCC nations, or for that matter any other nations, people come to me and tell me many things about Shah Rukh Khan and Amitabh Bachchan. So first thing, let me correct you. India is not only Bollywood. India is mainly composed of many regional cinema, which you might be even seeing in the Oscar stages now. Bollywood is part of Indian cinema. We have many other woods there, Mollywood, Tollywood, Collywood, and many other woods. So, as very correctly you have asked, how regional cinema, regional audience connecting to the global audience. So what our filmmakers does is, actually it is easy for them because India is known for its diversification. Lot of languages, lot of colors, lot of states, lot of lifestyles, lot of religions, lot of beliefs, and we believe in unity and diversity as a secular country, so that we have lot of stories which is inbuilt in our culture itself. Everything is unique. Since we have lot of different dialects, different stories, different states, different villages, everywhere we have unique stories involving in, where all these filmmakers can make maximum use of it and maximum culture, local, rooted storytelling happens. And when we connect it with the universal experiences of emotions like love, revenge, sacrifice, or any those kind of emotions, that is not only for India, that's for the global audience, for all humanity. When this connects, we all connect to each other. That's the only thing. I can just take an example of the international program of Miss. Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't know there was a translation happening. Please.
دوری بحث برسبدان سر به سیاره که چه سینما هندی یا لوکال بر جهان بودی چی بیشتر گرک جاران دا بر كارتي هندي وياك وخلق مواطن دي وبعدين فيلم الاستيبان بيان جدا جدا جابوني قالك بحث شاروخاني وكنا يجي نياسي من شاروخان قالك جي أما جاب بوليو كده بيجي أغلب قالك وصل جاجبينك وبيانو خلقك آشنا بوين سينما هندي وكاتوري هندي بله و خلقي بيتا ديار كلام كوبتني أمينة تني بوليو دينا قالك المؤسسات اللي هني قالك لازقين هندي هنيت فيلم سازية هندي وصورت بلوكالية هندستاني عندي قالك يا دولمندة رنگ و زمان و رنگ جدای موزاییکی کلتوری وانا یک جدا جدا اما کرستکی گله گلک یا ساختنم یا گلک باشک و او وقتی سینما کارواتی هنرمند برهمینه سینمایی سوگیش به کلتوری بینن و کار سر بکن و بلاغ کن و هم جارجی فوکس قضیه هیوانا سر وان هستو سوزا وان عاطفات گلناف کلتوری دواداریم کو اوجی ببیتا مجارک و کار سر کن و فیلم ها بچه.
Maybe I can just give you one or two examples and then maybe pass it over. As I said, it's the regional flavors. We connect with the universal experiences of emotions like every other human being. The cinema happens in India and the global audience clap for it. That's the simple thing. For example, lunchbox. Last 3 days or 4 days, I've been hearing it everywhere in the dinner table, lunch table, wherever I go, people are asking me about lunchbox, and I'm so proud that NFTC, where I represent National Film Development Corporation, and our ministry, we made the film, we produced the film. And what is that film? It is a little life of two people in a state called Mumbai. And that experiences only happens in Mumbai in an urban lifestyle. But the intimacy and the loneliness of an urban life, which is explained in that film, is known to everyone. Anybody who's having an urban life, anybody who's going through that life, everybody can connect to that emotion. That's how that film has become global. And RRR, it's completely a purely original Telugu film made completely with a local flavor of story. How it has become global? Nothing, it just spoke the story of freedom and friendship. And the same with Bahubali, we just spoke the story of some little village and their kingdom and their bit of their internal conflict and stories, and that has become global. How? Because they spoke the human experiences of love, sacrifice and revenge. Who doesn't know that feeling? Let's take one example from one of us. Last day I was talking to Ms. Keske, the programmer. She told me about the feeling of leaving her 20 months twins baby and coming here and attending this festival and taking care of the festival. I'm not a mother, but I got connected to her and I understood what she's going through. That's all the Indian filmmakers are doing. We are just connecting through the human experiences universally through our regional flavors, holding on to our culture. Simple. Thank you so much.
سوارد بابت هستو سوزو چوا گریدانه بیچید کت نخبرا ویجه خوجه و بگل جیهانی تو هندک نمونه این مدر خاطونه سر هندک ما مثلا لانچ باکس آرارا هندک دی تو وی کاری بر همینانی که توی را و وی چیرو که فیلم دا دو کسان بومبای بابت اکثر وادات فازگره گره خلی رنگ بدانه همو سروی فیلمیکو این کلش یا آشکارا بود او هست و سوز چهما گرید اکودو گرید دادوکی ملو فورتی مروایتی فیلمی آرار و بطرفت سر حوالینیه و سر آزادیه او شی هست که همه بشر ملو محزب و باید گل جین موجود جین فیلم دیدی وکی کنده که و ملانه که تداهی و کنده کودانا دادورن او فیلم جی بولمونه يعني قال لك جهتين صابون من سخني دارجيانا كتجوار دارجي كسك هبو حسين ليكر وكتب بجي چند يعني حش فيلم كلمة أو هو دايكنينك وحياة هذه بس شوفوا مثلا هستا دايكي دارجي وفيلم كنصات شيء بيتا شيء كلمة وي هستيك بورجينيت وسباس. Thank you so much. Ms. Gauri, and only one question. As you experience in the Duhok Film Festival and being the president of the jury, can you tell us what's your feeling, because you talked about the feeling?
About the festival?
Yeah, the Duhok Film Festival and being the president of the jury this year.
First, before answering to this question, first thing I would like to thank Mr. Madan Gopal, our CG. He is the person actually who introduced me to the Duhok Film Festival team. And from there, he just did the introduction part and he just stayed away from it. He never interfered in anything of how do I get into a curation and what should I do and what should I not do. So that kind of freedom, he entrusted in me, but he was always there behind me as a guardian that I can always go back to him. So he stayed as a home and I entered in the festival. So that's how it all started. And once I started getting in touch with the festival, I understood there is a beautiful discipline and professionalism that they are following. And it was all through mail. None of them were in touch with any WhatsApp or mobile. So there was no other negotiation. It was completely on emails and very professional. And once I traveled here, each and everything from the time of travel until date, everything is coordinated really well. And I've been selected as a jury president for the world shots and the Kurdish shots. And I'm immensely thankful that I'm chosen for the Kurdish part. Let me not talk about the world part because I do that often. When I travel for festivals, I do that often for the world shots or features. But this is my first time ever experience with the Kurdish shots, which each film, somewhere, I thought, I could see the flavors of regionalism where it was connecting me to the regional cinema of Indian cinema. So if there is more of budgeting or more of support system or more of how the filmmakers wanted their own way, if there is more of support coming to them, I think Kurdish cinema can really make it to a global level, or maybe equally competent to Indian cinema, because I could see the flavors. And even with limited, how do I say, the limited capacities given to them, there are a lot of ideas coming in. It's not that somehow some beautiful shots they made together because they are good cinematographers and good locations they had, they made some cinema. No, they had beautiful stories and story ideas, and there was a lot of pain they discussed in the film, but there was also a lot of hope they discussed in the Kurdish cinema, which is actually really a welcoming idea, which they need to connect more to the global audience. I don't know how far Kurdish cinema has reached the global audience. I'm ignorant about it, I'm sorry. But I really can see the growth of Kurdish cinema. Each day, I think I almost watched 18 films now, and I can see each film, each time when I'm watching, I can see it is moving to the next level. So, looking forward to it more. I have one more block to see.
سواء بسيارة ويكو أنا بصلا بجدر ديال فيلم فيستيفال دروكي وكي سلوكو جوريا أول بشي كرة فيلم هيا بيت جهاني بيت كردي سوالات بي كردي بيت آخر بيجيت بارز كونسولي هندي أو وكم جار أبي اقتراح كركو إنه كوري قال من الاستفاضة ده وهذا قابش بوياه بداية إيميل الله تفتنو تشتكي لأنه مرغوب اشتكاش يبينيتيت و كاري جماعتي كريم راستي يعرف كيكا وقالك منتظما وشو التي قالك بشكل في الاستفاضة ونسبة فيلم كردي وكم جارك ووصاش مزيد بقاشناوي البته دولمندی و وان جوابان نوچه وان کارناتی نکنی گلک هست دیده باید گلک احساس باید کارن کرده فیلم کردی و گلک معاناتت وی خلکی و هست دبرینه کار گلک يعني يعبروا شر تداري قال هندش قال معاناتك قال وان عايشة هندك يعني هواية بخشي هي تداري وقالك جانب وقتی بحبری میشه بحث کرد و کجا هست مروفا بیگره در نبودیم هست کرد و قبایجی گرد نوزی که واقع وانا هندیه در طوری وانا و او کردانه دوتی داشتن البته هکر پاپش بیه که باشتر هبید باشتر همین و فيلمسازی کردی چیا فیلمینش فیلم برهمنان فیلم هنده هن و چاوره باشروجه که بهتر سرگرتی دن و بهتر کاری پاشته بکن و سوارد به چند فیلمساز کردی چیا این کارن خوان برهمن خوب جهانی کن که این خطی بیدی اویجی گلک آگهداری سرمی نه بس باشروجه داجی بهتر مطابق کن. Thank you so much. So, Dr. Bach.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for being here, and
Sure.
we are really delighted to have you here as an Indian living in Duhok for years and having many students and having lots of connections here in your career. So it's really nice and it will be very fruitful what really you will share with us in your experience. And so, if you just go ahead and tell us about the storytelling, about your experience, and
Okay. Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Worship Rock. Can I speak Kurdish or Hindi or English?
Mixed.
Mixed? Okay, I'll mix. Respected dear delegates from Indian Country and dear film lovers and people from Duhok, dear students. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be here today at 11th Duhok International Film Festival. The moment I was invited, I took a moment to just say yes, because I just act only in the classroom, not in the movie like Miss Gauri. I act only in the classroom, I'm a teacher. But then I took a moment and said yes, because it's all about love. I love movies. So I decided yes, I sent the mail after 5 minutes, like yes, I'd be there. I accepted the panel. I should say thank for the organizers for inviting me for such a wonderful panel. Also, I'd like to thank our university president. I'm from GI University, I should say thank our president, Dr. 01, and the vice president, Dr. Bayar, who always are supporting the faculty members to participate in such a big events. And also, I thank Mr. Shian. He was my student, now he has become my close friend. And he's the one who just, has shown me, Dr. Bhatt, there is an opportunity, we can have it. I said yes. So thank you so much, Mr. Shian. And thank you all for being here. Let me introduce myself. Mr. Sam said, I'm Bala. I'm not Bala here in Danahi. I'm Shah Rukh Khan. Yes, I'm from Danahi. I'm Shah Rukh Khan from Danahi. The reason why I say this, whenever I walk across the streets from a flat, the people, the kids now shout at me, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman. Sometimes I wonder if I wave at them dramatically, they will sing a song like, Mujhe dekha to hi jana sanam, pyar hota hai deewana sanam. So, and if I go to CK, Duhok Bazaar, the aged people, elder people, they looked at me, Amitabh, they wanted to communicate with me, but the way they communicate are amazing. I thought for a moment I should have become an actor, not teacher, because actor reached so famous.
Maybe translation for
No need. I think translation is not necessary. I think so.
They understand.
Yeah, because everything is clear here, right? Thank you. So I'm Amitabh, I'm Shah Rukh Khan, right? So I'm just kidding. I'm Bala. My name is Bala. I'm from GI University. I'm working as a assistant professor of English. I worked 2 years for Red Bull, and here it's my 3rd year. I love the culture here in Kurdistan. The reason why we hear the culture, I'll tell you more about it. I'm from Chennai. I'm from South India, and almost you all from South India. So you're from North India, right?
I'm from the Hindi belt.
I'm great, North India. I'm from South India, city called Chennai. You know, the famous music director, A. Rahman. He got 2 Oscars. 2 Oscars, you know, believe it or not, 2 Oscars he wanted. So I'm from that city. Okay. Before I just move on to the topic is cinematic, Indian cinematic journey, celebration of culture and storytelling. I would like to ask some questions to the audience. Please raise your hand if you love watching Indian cinema. Please, my students, please raise your hands, otherwise I will not give you marks. It's very difficult, yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sir. Could you please tell me one of your favorite heroes from Indian cinema? Favorite hero or actor or actresses?
I need to translate for the
Okay.
چند کس عندك ممثلات مثلا ممثلة بالنسبة عندي چند کس آشنا يعني دست خوب نمی‌کنم. There are lots of plans after the translation.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So from this you could see how Indian cinema has reached Kurdistan. Not only Kurdistan, all over the world. So you are the witness for this. Today I just divide my speech into 5 different scenes like cinema. 5 different scenes. Do you want time to translate or?
بله دكتور بالا سپاسیا کاکشیانتر كل فيري أو شيء أناليت ويبدأ نصينه وهستك وسائلية أو يجي طلبك أنا فهم هنجاتي كل فيري ومعلمي كل جا جهان فيري وانا بيشتغل زمان إنجليزي وسي صالة فيري سپاسیا سروکی زنکوی جهانی کنو و جیگری ویجی و تایی کار نکار گرمی و سانه و نشیا بری گلک بسا شکبتنی البته گله جارا بیا بادا من وقتی تو چی ناخلکی دارم در جارا نابد جدایت هنرمندی تندی و نگازی تیان و استران تندی گل بیجن و اوسیارا گل باجی کلی چند کشور زانی اول بیر دیارت کرد که یعنی کلتور هندی گشت یا بری گشت جهانی و پایی که جانب نسبت به اونا دی 5 بابت هند کردی او دی بحث کرد.
Thank you. Maybe next year if I come here I'll talk Kurdish, okay. It's a standard, doesn't need to translate. So scene number 1. The beginning of Indian cinema. Indian cinema was started 100 years ago with a silent movie, silent film in 1913. Imagine a movie without no soundtracks, no dialogues. It's like eating a biryani without meat or chicken, just only the rice. So this is how Indian cinema started 100 years before. Since then, India cinema has become the biggest film industries in the world, and making thousands of movies every year. Over a period of time, Indian cinema started a small black and white silent film to 2,000 films. Do you believe it? 2,000 films every year in different languages and releasing all over the world. This journey shows how Indian cinema is so powerful and reached to new corner of the world. Over to you.
سرطة نظام نصر السيزدي فيلم عندي بس بيكاد بيلانجي نوتني بيلانجو براشوستي ونكيجي كم ساعتين يكون شوا بشسن برمين ونسينا ويندي كو نكسر والله بدون زار فيلم تبع كمينا بزمان جدا وكاتوليك جدا بيني بكون يكون يعني كشكل نظري يسان قال طبيش كتير نوع بورتي من سوزيس عندي الإسلامي.
Thank you. Scene number 2. Lights, camera, action. Every scene, before they just shoot, the director say this: lights, camera, action. In scene number 2, I'll talk about celebration of culture and diversity and culture. India is a land of rich diversity in culture. You see India, only Bollywood. Bollywood from Mumbai, no. So Indian movies are everywhere. They have Tollywood, Kollywood. They are from Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada. I am from Tamil. Miss Gauri from Malayalam. So they release films every year. And also, the people, they love their stories in different regions. Since I'm far away from India, I haven't watched many Indian movies recently. There are too many things happen. So I've got too many list of movies that I'd like to share with you today. Because if you people find time, please watch and you can know the culture and everything. Okay. All these movies, really just are made to show ancient epics from modern studies. So before we just move on to the films, I said it already, the culture is very important. If you go to any country, you should know their culture. The culture provides the opportunities. Kurdistan, the culture, but I feel so happy because it's close to Indian culture. If you want to know about Indian tradition, please watch the movie Lagan and Dangal. And you might hear about that. You just go and Google it. I'll be listing out the famous movie today. If you really find time, please watch. I'm sure it's worth watching. If you want to know about Indian mythology, please watch Bahubali, which was already mentioned by Ms. Gauri. If you really want to know about Indian family, how the Indian families are, please watch the movie Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and Gabi Kushi Gabi, that's my favorite. When I was watching the movie, I cried. I don't know why. Because it's connected to me emotionally. So if you really want to know about Indian family, watch these two movies. And if you want to know the daily lives of Indian people, please watch the movie Mazan and Padak Pansali. That's too beautiful if you just get too many things from the movie. This is how Indian cinema serves as a mirror of the nation's culture and linguistic and diversity. Indian cinema truly a cultural medium. Over to you, sir.
صورت بابد دویکو بحث جدی سر او چند ولات هندستان کلتوری وانای همرنگه و شوی باشه دست بگیر که دیرونانی کامیرا اکشن تطویری دا وکی روسیه که بیانو ارچا اوان دشتین اکشن دا که کار سریع کردن بیت الله کردن تنی بولیودین الموبایل ولی گلک برمین نتیجه تین سینما دا کلیودا کامل آن چکا خود می باجریه باشوری هندستان او خوشوی رادیه ونونا خاتون گاری شمالیا یا جهه کدیه و جهین جدایی هندستان و کلتوری ما بشکل جدی دور رنجی بشکل جدایی که بین وضعی ولی کلیکو تأثیر أساسي ما هيك هو بأنه رنج جداشي كارو كان منونا النوع هندا فيلم قلتن قلت هيك مثلا صار كرتوني وانا كمبيوتر بزاني شنستاني ما جوجل يعني انترنت هر شيء وزي بيتولي يعني أنا جي صحكي ما فيلم لو كنا هاي تانجر هاي صار لوينا أفسانة وميثولوجي وانا و كربو رواية كرتن أو جي هيك فيلم كي قلتن صار وقت خيزاني دلات هاي أو جي فيلم كي بيه كتو بيتبونش باشه شيء وزي خيزاني هندستاني ديجي سرجيانا وجانا ومازان وقدران شون فيلم كي هي يعني ودو فيلم هي بدنا أخويا كان كاجيانا وجانا دوي منطقية ويخلي إن شاء الله.
Thank you.
But you have 5 minutes.
Of course, yes.
Just need, yeah.
I'll finish it. Scene number 3, storytelling. Storytelling is very important for the movie. Okay, so without the story, you cannot reach the people. Indian cinema is becoming a powerful storyteller to the global world. Right? As I mentioned, some of the movies, they are very famous because of the way how the story was delivered in the movie. Even I can list out some of the movies to become so popular worldwide. RRR. It was released in 2022. It won the Oscar. Winning Oscar is not just easy. Okay, so how good a movie it is. So because of the story, it won Oscar. Then Slumdog Millionaire. It was released in 2008, which won Oscar award. Imagine, the screenplay was amazing, and the scene, the choreography was fantastic. That's why it was, just provide the Oscar award. Then The Lunchbox, as she mentioned, that's my favorite movie. Lunchbox. Almost all of my favorite movies. This is one of the special movie. Lunchbox. If you find time, please go and watch. Instead of just explaining, please watch and you can feel it. And this is my so touching movie. Like everyone from India, not from India, everyone knows about this movie. Mere Pyar Prime Minister. It was released in 2019. 8-year-old boy writes a letter to the President of India to get help to build a toilet for his mother. So it's a very simple line, but when you watch this movie, you could understand how the other parts of India is still suffering. And one more thing, after the movie, there are lots of changes in the part of world, and the Prime Minister took many efforts to change the culture. Over to you.
وقتی یه بحث جدی سر بگران چیروکیه چه وضع بگران چیروکان بنمونه عندك فيلمين كنت لك سر كفتيانا أفكار كريا وكيف فيلم RRR 2022 هاتيا تشيترن وقاش ديا خبطه أوسكار جوار جرتي يعني جهان دابوي وقالك خركي عجيبي وانجا فيلم اسلام داك مليونير أجي 2008 تبو أجي أوسكار ورديرتيا لانش بوكس وكي خاطر جوريجي بحث جديد وقف فيلمتها أصلي قالك وقالنا تشيروكي تداهي بشي واسيكي قالجان ودوزو مصديجي فيلم كيفات يا برنامجان كورا كان الصالان نومكي بو بلن بيمان ديدار برد كات سوارات بروشا ونات وبيتا تشابه ساكرين جاء فيلم يجي خدا يعني لأنا كدي داخليا كرن كو تشابه بينو دستالات هرگاه باش معاملات وكيشن نوجباكي دارين جابز بابا تاكو كريتاي بگرانا چيروكات ناف فيلم سينمائي.
Do you have time?
No, I think it's finished. If you have something very short, 1 minute.
Yeah, there are two scenes left, so if you probably need time, I'll just talk about later at the end.
Maybe when there are questions, you can.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. And now we are giving His Excellency the Ambassador Soman Baji to give a speech and share with us your vision, your anything you want to share with us.
Thank you very much. Well, hello everyone. And first thing I would like to say is that I'm very happy to be with all of you in Duhok.
زۆر سپاس بۆ هەمیەوە جگەلێک خۆشحاڵم کۆ ئەس بێرێ ئەوەندەبیمە دیار بێرێ.
It's been just over a month that I arrived in Iraq from India.
تقريبا هيبكا كو يهاتيا عراقي شهندي دست بكار.
And my second time in Kurdistan, I was here about 2 weeks ago. And where I come from, and where most of us come from India, if we tell our friends that there are places called Erbil and Duhok and Suleimania, then most of them will not recognize where these places are.
أوجي كوجي هاتين الهندي أوجي وكي شغل مدروك أو الإسلامية هيئة وكي باجي الكردستاني أو أوجي جهاتي أوجي بوصانا برشافن ونياسي.
I myself could not have imagined before coming here that a town like Duhok, which could have such wonderful infrastructure with such a nice university campus and such good facilities.
من باجر دوکی کو امی دید کو باجر که چند جوانه و خدمت گزاری کاش و کوارت نو همزان کوی دو کو بابا یه آزان کوی بسکار کوی که هی.
So when we go back to India from time to time, and finally when we go back to our countries, then we will tell them stories of this wonderful place that is there in the north of Iraq.
دما زورنا باجر کوولات کو حالت دیجیو که دیری بدیارن کو چند باجر جان همینا کردستان و عراق.
And also about its very talented, warm and beautiful people.
وهنجارا دي بحثي أو كسين قدرشيان وصار كسين وصار جوان وصار شيان النكار كان ديري من كردستان.
I'm very happy to see quite a few young people in the audience today.
قالك الحوشة البيري قالك أنجات بينيت.
The youth of India share a lot in common with your youth, because the aspirations and ambitions of the youth of both India and Kurdistan have a lot in common.
بيجي جانشن هندستاني شيء وزكي قالك هفتشون قال جانشن كردستاني هندستان بيقول حازم نيخوليات نيخو بيش تخنو قالك يعني تشارك.
Indians, after they got independence from Britain in 1947, have been through a period not only before that but even after that of quite a lot of struggle and poverty and despair.
دما وقت هندستان سابق هنا خو رقم نظام نصدش لحفته بلي بصالة قالك حالات النخلش طبعا قالك فقيري هبو قالك وضعه قالك يباشنا وبالي بفعله.
Similarly, the Kurdish people have been through a lot of trauma, persecution, oppression, and periods of despair, but just like Indians, they have never lost hope for a better future.
اما شوی کردستانی کو سالانه که دریج دا بندستی و برایس خستن و ظلم لغتی کردن مجی همان میجویه.
Some of us back in India who keep track of developments in the world are aware of the great bravery and courage and strength of the Kurdish people over these last few decades.
و یا دیارشی نسبت دیگر خلقی و بندیجی آنجارا و سوارت او شورشگیری و برخودان و زیرکی ناف خلق گلی کردستان در خویت و صدا سال.
Whether you faced the persecution and difficult times during the Saddam Hussein regime or more recently during when the Daesh was at your doorstep.
بس مجویا به داویر بین و اوزمن او تعداین سدس صدامی به ملتی کشای و جنگ اخیرشی گلک برابانیا که گلک آزایانه برابانی بیرین که پشمرده بوندد شهر داعشی.
And many of us have heard stories of the bravery of the Kurdish Peshmerga, including the female Peshmerga, in fighting back these forces of evil and terror.
و تایبتیجی که جنن پشمرگه هبونه و گلک آزایانه شارن تیروره کنی.
While I was listening to our previous speakers, I noted down a few things at random, so what I say may not be much in flow, but I would like to share some thoughts about cinema with you.
Speaking of your barizan tariqo better sir cinema yokhden abi عندك خالد الدولي sign بجد بحثية.
While informing you in advance that I'm not an expert at all on cinema and I'm merely a consumer of cinema.
وأقدر كتكو أو بسبوري سينما دونينا بري تماشاواني سينما بطبع سينما.
See, cinema is for me a portrait of life. Just like art, we can say, of any kind is a reflection of life.
سينما بالنسبة لي وصل بيني كو جياني تشيدكت وهنر رنگ بدانه كو جياني.
And when we say that it's a portrait of life, it means that it portrays the hopes and aspirations, the difficulties and traumas, the triumphs and the failures of human life as it is lived out by us daily in our societies.
إجباركو سينما بهتر جهدت كتل سر بابتين كو بلداين جيان روجانه هر تا بكشمه اش هيوية اش كتنه اش نخوشيه اش دردسريه اش هر بواركي جدا جدا جيانه روجانه دا.
Now, commercial Indian cinema is known worldwide, whether Hindi or in any other language, for its very lavish sets and its fantasy world and its music and its dances.
سینما یا هندی یا بازاری بهتر یا بلاغوی ناخدکی دا و شمازه که یه نیشا داره تشکل تو دیوانان هاوشه بهتر سر فانتازی سر لاین جوانی نه و میوزیک و سترانان اچته داریم و بگیدیم.
And many of us, I can speak for myself of course, when growing up, used to wonder why they were so unrealistic and they were so removed from our daily reality, and they used to paint a picture of a, as I said, a fantasy world, an imaginative world.
وأخوجي وقال كي بيجي يعني أو سيارة دبوهي كوبوتشي شيء وزير الماء كو واقعي كي خيالي دا بيت جيانا كي خيالي دا بيتر و بيتر فانتازية يعني يوديلش جزئية واقعية.
But we could also see that the audiences in India and in many other countries were really captivated by this fantasy world that the Indian cinema used to show, and it was very popular with them. They never questioned the fact that it was removed from reality.
بله شداره نگیری و گره خلقیت هندستانه و ولاتی ایجی سنجیوان بوان شوازه فیلما هاتا کشان و نسبت وا به چه جدیتن یعنی چه بخشی و جوره دیگه خلقی.
And my understanding or my explanation of that fact is that because Indian reality for most people in India, the daily life or the daily struggles made their life so difficult, whether it was poverty or backwardness or lack of education or the difficulty in getting a job, their daily life was so difficult that the cinema was a means for them to escape from the realities of daily life.
déjà وقتی شروع کردن که با خطی که هیچ حجبه فیلم فانتاسی که تو از لاین جوانی و دانس و موزیک البته وقتی شروع باوی بحث شدی با خطی که هیچ راستی معنا داشتی یعنی نبونا هر کاری and بچین یک فقره دارید نمونی دارید اینجا نخوشی دنجی نخو déjà وقتی تو ماشای فیلمی کن اول کی
And therefore, in the middle of all their troubles during daily life, they wanted to escape for those 2 hours or 3 hours in the cinema hall, watching romance, watching beautiful places, watching song and listening to song and watching dance, to also to perhaps believe that a beautiful world also existed beyond their daily lives.
وخلقك وقت تشنت هو السينما دوري ساعتك أو تشان ساعتك خوش بير بعد كان ووقت ما في المدن وتجية رومانسية وميوسيكي ودانس وديمان الجون و يبيه كبار بخشي يبيه كده توانا وجهانا كيه خوش عمله كده توانا وبرف خوشيجي
But then there was also a parallel movement which began in Indian cinema, in which the filmmakers decided to portray the realities of life without any of the song and dance and fantasy, to portray very real life situations. For example, the Lunchbox was mentioned here, one of my favorite films. If you see that movie, you will see that there is very little exaggeration in it. It's about a very regular daily existence. So there was a parallel movement in cinema which was in the beginning called art cinema or art films, which then started showing life as it is.
ولی لوینا گودیو هایی یا سینما کار جدیه هایی اونا پیچوانی به بحث جدی کو واقعی کو وکی خوب کچاوله بگو هر لافه گودیو فانتازی سر بکن بگو میوزیک آنجی مبالغات دقیقی بنونه فیلم لانچ باکس کو او دفریش همیا يعني فيلمات بوحدهم كيدية باشترينا قبل بينيجي وحيدنا بسينما كارن هنديدو وقبل وكي شي وازفو بقويزة.
And therefore that is the richness of Indian cinema, that it has both sides to it. It has the purely entertaining, sometimes nonsensical kind of fantasy world films, but it also has very high quality, very deep films which project the realities and the struggles and contradictions and complexities of daily life.
لو ما حدو شي وظيفتين أبكو قرب فانتاسي ومالي تركيز سلماني جواني ومن بحشة كلي ولاني ديجي هيكو أف عروزي وأف زحمتي وجوالي وأنجي تو ولاني هنالي ويقلك يا لنا أمجي.
So I hope that while watching Indian films, you will get a chance not only in this festival but otherwise to watch all kinds, and which will give you an idea of Indian life and Indian society.
لو ما بيجيتنكو هكر هند باشا وجدو بيبستي والدو جيانجي جيانا خدا أول بدن كو حدو شي غزاوي بيدن كو بيترش كرتون جيانا خلقي هندستاني تيكا.
One of the ways to understand a people or a country or a society is through art, and when you are exposed to the art of that country or its people, you will see the differences that are there, but you will also realize the commonalities that are there, because basic human emotion and desire is a common thread that is running through both our societies.
إيش أمراض إنجلك بحيثكو ملوكة دولتي ابن نصيف رقاه هنالية رقاه هنالية بروشت هم وان جدا يا ببینید که کلتور جدا دارن بس او هستو سوزن مرویجی کل همی جهانی مهمیا بیگ بگیرد همچارا تداد تخویا کرن مهمیا بیگ بگی مرویجی بیگ بگیرد.
We have a group of 10 young Indian people, I think they must be in their late teens or 20s, who have arrived in Erbil last night and will be in Duhok today, and they will be performing in the evening, and that will give you a chance to watch first-hand live some dances from the films of Bollywood, which are very popular. So I'm very happy that we are able to present those to you.
genç jednozda Islami gençliğine Kürdistan'ı diğerlükte nümayişa savayki hukan yetku gerek nafirmet bulüde hadiyaka inan Vijabaji çansa kakohen ekser bölümden mesela stage beri.
We have a program in the Indian Foreign Ministry in which people of many young people of different fields are able to go to India, sponsored by the Indian government, for training courses in various fields.
Programak wanahindi وزارة التربية الهندية كو بابشتيا آلگوریا زانستی کرد که اگر خلق بودن بشنویره تقدیم کرد که ویره خودا ورکردن سر هر بشکی بوده.
And for that you apply through the Indian consulate, or for those who are in southern or central Iraq through the Indian embassy. And we have an excellent film institute in India in a city called Pune, the Film and Television Institute of India, FTII. I'm not sure whether it is on the list of institutes which provide this training, but if it is, then it could be another place where Kurdish young people who aspire to work in the film industry, become filmmakers, become actors, become screenplay writers, sound or production specialists, can be sponsored and can go there for specialized courses.
وفي بروجرام كو بحث كي بريكا كونسولخانه انجي سفارة بلدا او كركين پیشکش کردن سیدیم کو انجی پروگرامی کو دیم بشناختی دا ریکاور کردیم کو اگر هر گنجه که هر کسی که بده کو ویده فیر بگی سر سینمای سر اکتریه و هر باشکی دی کو بده و تایباتیشی باجره پونه کو پیمانگا بکرهی ارتیبی آیا کو او گره و نیاسه کو راستی یا باشه آستکی گره بنده.
Finally, I hope that whichever Indian films you have seen in this festival or whatever more you can see, you will understand India better. We would like to bring as much of India as possible to you in Kurdistan through whichever means possible, and we would also like as many of you to visit our country. We don't yet have direct flights from Erbil, but we are trying, and we also would like you to therefore come and know about India, its people and its culture. To watch them on the screen is a good beginning. To see them in reality will be even better.
هو هیوی داره و شیابن کلتور هندی و باز بی‌تغییر که فیلم فستیوال دروک نمایش آوان فیلم و همجا هیوی داره که هم بشه سردان ولات هندستان بکن که دست بیکی رکا شاشه سکرین رکا فیلمی که ببینی او باشه دست بیکی که باشه برنام بسیار ویره تو خوب از مونه که خلقی ببینی کتوری ببینی او دوان باشه.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the organizers for inviting me to this discussion.
Thank you so much. Now we want to give the speech to His Excellency Mr. Madan Gopal and share with us your experience and tell us about India. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody, and really, time runs so fast that we started in the morning and now moving to the afternoon.
باش باش همین برادران همین آمده بوان و راستیجی که هم هاتین به اکثر و ما باز هندستانشی که آمده بود.
And thank you, Excellency Sir, for, I pushed him, requested him to that, we should participate in good, and he kindly accepted this invitation and spared his time. Last evening he was in Basra and he just missed some meetings, but just to attend here.
سپاس یا جناب پاولیس که دیگه بصره و هندک کمبونت خو تأجیل کردن و داکوبیش در بری آماده بی چون برای زیری دخواست کرد که پاولیس خوشی بهتره و
Let me revisit the topic of today's discussion. If you see India's cinematic journey, a celebration of culture and storytelling.
دام این سر مجار خوب که اندیشین اف لاین سینمای هندی و یا بیشین کلتوری و لاین سینمایی هندی.
The journey here in Duhok especially is really, it started exactly almost 1 year last year when we met Dr. Amir Ali and some of the members of the Duhok International Film Festival.
كوبا صالة كيد السيدة أمير علي يكونوا ديتنو عندك أنك شاكرا سر في الفستيفال الدوكي.
And really thank you. We discussed the idea of how we can use the power of cinema to strengthen our relations.
وسپاس بو موسیقی کو راستی گری جان بحثن دیگر کو سینما چند تا پیزه کو شپیام اینی تو کلتور آلوگور کرد.
So it's just a part of storytelling that how we come to today. And Dr. Amir Ali kindly, he said, yes, let us work on this. And they agreed to have India as a focus country.
أما بشكل شوي بقرنا تشيلوكي كو تشوش بار حتى أفصل عن أفكار حتى أنجودان كو بأنه أفهم مهميات قال بلاد هندستان بتكلم وأن شيء بيبقى.
The journey has, if you go back, when India is now today, just today, it's we are celebrating the birth centenary of the legendary Raj Kapoor. And my Prime Minister, because of the importance of the cinema, he encouraged everybody to use, let us take our Indian cinema to the old corners of the world.
Today is the anniversary of
Yes,
what exactly?
not the birth centenary, is completed 100 years today.
100 years old.
Famous Raj Kapoor.
Film?
No, he's the famous personality,
Famous?
actor, director, legendary
Ah.
film personality.
بيجيت أبركا صصادي يدورية كسائك وقال كيف نعبدن قال مجال السينما قال قال كريا وهنجرا سبب وزيران وسيجا السلام كريا ودي السينما بايخ بيتر.
And in my meeting with His Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Kurdistan region, he focused on, Indian movies are very popular, why don't we do something?
وتكون هنا خد جيت قال سبب وزيران كردستاني وهنجرا جنوب ونجي بحسن دي بركو سينماي هندي قالك يا برنياسا وقالك جانا بوجي ينبيك بالقرناني.
And that is, how we came to, this is part of the, you can say, the storytelling of the journey, our journey of Indian cinema in Duhok from last year to this today. Two things which I really want to add here. One important is the Bengali cinema, which me and Ms. Cascade just few days back were watching a beautiful movie of Satyajit Ray, another famous figure or legendary figure in Indian cinema, which is the Mahanagar, which is big city.
سینما بندومی بینی خاطر مایشگیری رو هندت نگیری باشته داده کن و باجه رکه و باجه دیگر که برمیاسن.
And we have, two Indian directors also joining this, thanks to the organizing committee. The two Indian directors are also visiting, attending this as a film festival.
وهنجرا دو بحينا رنجلك باش توانا بيري مدبينا وفيلم الاستقبال.
The history, Mr. Bala has already covered how the cinema evolved. Excellency, he mentioned what is true, the essence of cinema, which is, culture, emotions, and this, climax, happy ending.
دكتور بالا بحثي ميجوي كر وبيتر شوفين بوقتي دا وبرز بالويز يجي بحثي بنجينين سينمائي كر وكالتوري دا وجدائي نابرا كالتوري جدا دا هندستان.
But without song and dance, nothing is. Indian cinema is incomplete.
و بي كوردانس وميوزيك تدارا بيت أو سينما
Excellency Sir has already invited you to join a special program on Indian dance, or Bollywood dance, or music, with 10 artists performing tonight at 1800 hours.
لو جنوب وجهي كان يتفصلين كو ساعة 6 آماده نمایش موسیقی و دانسی كو بهتر بوده.
One thing also I just like to add, about the training courses and how we can promote relation, develop help the Kurdish director or film makers to learn from India. But there is a very good opportunity in February.
سبورت پروگرام جامعه بحث کردی بو در هنر بو اختراع و بهتر راهنا لوکیلن هندستانی کو تقدیم کن بیشی تای بودو یا سال بهدا پروگرام که
India is hosting World Audio, Visual and Entertainment Summit. Waves, you can just simply write Waves 2025.
بيجي الهندي عندك بيجي ميديتين شبكتين و عندي كريدوي بار سينمائي وسكرين وكندا و 2025 برنامج.
It's in New Delhi between 5 to 9 of February. You are all most welcome, especially the known personality who wants to learn, who wants to basically share their knowledge to the international audience as well as gain from the experience of visiting such a big event which is going to be unique.
Event كوكب مصنع البيئة وهر كسكي بيوكو معيشتي مشتكي بشاندات أنجي البيئة ومدبي event كوكب مصنع كو أول بدن بيشكشكن دا إلهي.
And thank you. I really, Dr. Amber, really, Mr. Mehmet is also there, SK, and to make to make this thing happen today, by India is joining the Duhok International Film Festival as focus country. Thank you.
سپاس بو همین کسی که راستی پادش بونو و ولی که اف بابت بیت انجام دادن که ولاد هندستان رو ایتا فوکسی فیلماویستی و ولاد رو کم دولتی یا کارهای هسته. Thank you so much. I think now we give the audience the chance to, if they have any question or addition, and so we will be responding to them. But how much time we have? I think that's okay. Barizan, سپاس بود داریوان رکیجی ام به دلیل دینا اول کو هر کسی که تبینی بسیار چشم کنی آراسته می‌باند مرکزی ولی
Okay, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to say you are very welcome, dear Mr. and Ms. Gori, and dear Dr. Bala. You are very welcome and nice to meet you, nice to see you here, and the other guests. I am someone, Shaban, from Jihan University, especially English department. I have a question for dear Ms. Gori, if I have the permission.
Yes, please.
Okay. What is the oldest film produced in India and who is directed it, if you remember? It's not required to know it, but if you know, you can share it with us.
Thank you, sir.
کاسامان
You are
دیست
Saman, right?
بسیاری و تجربه نرمه او کو کیش بدم یکم فیلمات یا برهمینان و کیویا درینر. هکر سانی که نزدیک نیست.
Thank you for the question. But to be honest, if you're asking me about the first film, I was not born. But maybe, yes, the kind of bit of reading and maybe listening to teachers like him and seniors, with my basic knowledge, I can tell you the first film is Raja Harishchandra in 1913, which the silent era started in Indian film history. And if you ask me, other than the silent film, the dialogues and music started with Alam Ara, maybe 1930, 30. Yeah. This is my learning, but I'm not born at that time. Trust me.
It's okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
بیشتر هذا سجدنا بيبقى يسافرني ولی وکی بزنین هین اول فیلم تراش سپید بدنگی بود سال 2013 بعدم اوید کو حوار و اختنو دیش تداوینا على مرة زار مصادوسية
خيراتنا أنا أصلين هجرتين أسيبرا فيلمات هندي تكون مع عربي زاني أو فيلمات سبتايتل عربي سر مشيا آشنا بی پشتی هنگی پشتی سالت نقل ایکی بزاوه که دوبلاش کردن الویلی ها تکردن فیلمات هندی گله کاتنا دوبلاش کردن چون کاریگری که زور سر خلقی هبو خلقی که زور پیگ و گریدانه که فیلمات هندی هبو دیدنامش بر وان هست و سوزا بو جبر کو وان فیلم جیوا کی مگلک معانات و درد سری تیده هبون بسیارا من بو خانم گوریه او چند یا آشنای هنده یک و وان فیلم کاریگری سر خلقی هیل ویره و چونکه اف سال جوری باید فیلم بیستوالا دوهوکی دو فیلمت کردی دیتینه چند خالد هفش نبرا فیلمت کردی و فیلمت هندی دهنه
Ibrahim is saying that since the 90s, the people in Kurdistan were really familiar with the Indian movies and cinema because there were also narratives, there were also stories, and also feelings that were expressed in this one. And then it was subtitled in Arabic, but then in Kurdistan they started to make the doublage, the voice doublage on it because there were also audience requiring for it. And anyways, this was an addition to what you already said. And so his question for you is that, Ms. Gori, that you are as a jury this year here, have you seen any reflection or any kind of impact of Indian cinema on the audience during your time and days in the film festival? And if there's kind of similarity between Indian and Kurdish movies?
Thank you, sir, for the question once again. And I think this is the same question that, the half part of it we addressed initially. I definitely felt similarities watching these Kurdish films, the 18 films, the categories which I watched. I definitely felt similarities with Indian cinema, especially while I was going through the regional flavors. And given the time limit of a short film, I could see a lot of ideas and a lot of revolution hidden inside each content, which is definitely Indian. And that's how we reach the world stage with the ideas and content that we have. That I definitely saw in Kurdish films. If I mention some of the scenes without mentioning the names, a little girl in a film called Mori, if I'm not wrong, I don't know, the actors in each film were like par excellence. I cannot tell who's best. I really don't want to give an award of casting in the Kurdish films because each was amazing. And that little girl, the emotions that through 14 minutes of film which is passed through that, I could see Indian cinema in that. The content, the idea in that cinema, the content in that cinema, definitely I could see a par excellence compared to Indian cinema. And also the location part. See, I have a beautiful part in my India, which is the northeast. I'm only mentioning a particular part. The entire India, you know how the location friendly it is. The northeast. I think it is still not yet explored. So I could see those kind of Manipur and Meghalaya and Nagaland, that lush green and the bare rocky mountains. Both I could see in the Kurdish films, either while the film started with that or the film ended with that. And I could see the emotion, the universal experiences of emotion explaining in Kurdish cinema, which is which is how the India has reached the global audience by focusing on showing up the emotions. So that I saw. That's what I'm repeating the same sentence. It was not simply shots cut together and made to 14 or 15 minutes. It was purely emotion conveyed, looped and flowed into a story. And it was brilliant. Brevity is the soul of wit. I strongly believe in that. Within 14 or 15 minutes, they gave you an open-ended stories where you, once the film gets over, you end up pondering, thinking of those characters or those stories, which always happened with me in Indian cinema, and I got the same feeling in Kurdish cinema. These are the main 3 or 4 points that I found the similarities.
سوالات بسيارة جمالتا بدأ هفتشو تجارات مثلا نظرة فيلم كردية اللي هناك وأوشي تتسبب بالجيران بيكو تربينا استوسوزيك وسوالات همي كرتا فيلم هذا نبتة بدي كده سنشانك ولی گرک نوبروک وقتی نوبروک وقتی در دنیا هستی هنگامی گرک باشه یه نسبت فیلم سازی کردی و باورشی که جهانی کردن فیلم کردی گرک یا نزدیک به سرایت بنده یعنی کوبشن 14 خلاف رو 12 خلاف رو دادیم و بیرو که بگیرن و شوازه که گرک جان ما فون فیلم داد چه کردی بیرو گرک فیلم دیجی کی داره و همچنین همان رچه بود که فیلم سر میره بازی هاتیم که در برین تصدیب شوازه که گرک جان نوارو که داره دادن تصدیب فیلم و وقتی که باید دادن مولیان و شعره ویکچه و باب خود گردی داد بس نوید یعنی که جدایی که چی که نوارو مدار دیگوی همین راستی گرک باشن و نسبت جهن که فیلم دیهاتی نچه کرن سروشت کردستانی وانجه ها اوجی راستی هفچونه که هی گرد و افغانستانی
يعني بدنا بس كتاب خلاص راستيجي امريكا فيلم هندي آشنای کلتور هندی بوینه و موزاییکا نافنده دهی و مجال روندك جيت جل وافل ما رتينه.
Saying through the Indian cinema, the Indian movies, Kurdish people get familiar really with the culture, and in many movies we cried with the movie, and so like we had this connection already in Kurdistan.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, thank you so much for coming today. We really respect that to accept our invite. I just have one question for Ms. Gori. And sorry, because you're bothering you today. You ask a lot of questions. My question about the type of movie, the action. We see more action in Indian movie. When or how this type of movie start? Can you give us an answer?
بسیار اشتاد کن بسیار یارو فیلم اکشن کیش او یکمی فیلم و فقط شروع به کسر.
Thank you for the question once again, and not at all a botheration. It's an honor sitting here and that you're talking about our India and we are getting an opportunity to talk. Thank you so much. And see, when you ask about action, action is just one element of Indian cinema. Like music, dance, or any other element as such. And anything that you ask, even if it is action or music or cinema or whatever, it is inherited in our culture. So everything comes from our grandfathers or grandmothers, and then it is attuned to our culture, and from there, cinema is just an extension of it. For example, if you ask about action, our basic martial arts, it is there inbuilt in our culture. Like if you say Kerala, it is Kalarippayat. If you go to Madurai, so can you... Selambat. So just two examples that I am giving you from two states. So if you ask, sir, every state of India has one or the other martial art. One is just a small number. So we just take it to movies as an extension. It is there in our culture. If you take music, I remember my grandmother taking me to feed me, showing to the moon, and she sings a lot of songs about the moon and the rabbit inside the moon, that stories. Definitely that has become the storytelling, and from there to the movies. And that music became the folk tales, and from there to the movies. And so everything, even Harikada of Karnataka, even Bharatanatyam of other state, and Kuchipudi or Kathakali, everything, even without lyrics or words, we can communicate. With mudras, we communicate. So that has become movies. The same with action. So base is martial arts, and from there, that is extended. See, for example, in Malayalam, I can tell you, Kadathanat Ambadi. It was a very famous and brilliant character done by one of our evergreen star, Mr. Prem Nasir. He is also almost reaching the centenary this year or upcoming year. So Prem Nasir. So he is basically a martial art artist. And from there he took it to a movie and he reached to state awards and national awards and it went. But when it moved out of Kerala, moved out of India, it was called action movies. But it was there in our culture. It was just cinema in India is extension of our culture. I think I answered your question. Thank you so much.
بيجيت كو السينما هندي قالك استوادش كالتوري ولاتي والجيرتي الهربة شكي هندستاني وانا كالتوري كي بشكل جوازي شكل دوي كل سبرت بفيلم اكشن تشتغل كو بيجي مو تشيكل بيت انجي هاربيتا ديزاين كلن كو بيجن فيلم وصوبي هربة كالتوري واي شر يعني بيجين هو ورزشن بلدية يجين فنون قتالية كو هر نوتشاكي وانا كو تشتكي هيك جيوبة واتيكو بيجين فنون قتالية أبا إكسر سينما كارا هنرمند و إسباليجي كي يسو بيجين ديكي كو هادين يتعوزين كرين يتكار إيمان ناف دونت خدا همانش سوارد الميوزيكي بونمونا دوبي راوي چند جاره بری وقتی بچی بویا هندک موزان هندک استران هندک میوزیکی هین سبارت هین بید شبه دا و اف دیمنه اف میوزیکا نوف کلتوری مودا هنه توضیف بید ایجا سینما کار و هنرمند گلک سودش کلتوری بینن وقتی پختری بوی برسه از بیشتر من هاتینا داویه بس گلک کرتی اخیر کس دو باش
Okay. Good afternoon. So if we talk about the Indian movies and the cinema, we cannot forget the dance and the music. So my question is, what role does the music play in Indian films and how has it influenced the global popularity of Indian cinema?
Buki.
Any of them, like especially maybe the actors involved in the...
Thanks so much for the question and answer. Stars without sky, nothing, right? So in cinema, I mean songs without movie is nothing. So it's like I should say in your language, no. A classroom without students, nothing, right? Biryani without meat or chicken, nothing, right? So songs and music are plays integral part of Indian cinema. People love it. When they listen songs, when they are happy, they listen songs. When they are sad, they listen songs. When they are totally upset, they listen songs. When the husband fights with the wife, they listen songs. When the wife has gone to his, mother's home, okay, they listen songs. Okay, so it's integral part of film. So you cannot take away from these movies, like songs from the movies. So it's mixed.
اکسیرا رئیسی سرند بکروی موسیقی سینمایی دا تاچ استا بیشتر گله هفکری تانا کافی گری به موسیقی نشید وکی بریانی کارگوش داره دیت دانایی گله کافی تان بیتوسان حالت بچین یه خوشیه نخوشیه دا همجار موسیقی کارتینن همجار کارتوری دا هم موسیقی جی سینمایی دارن بدانایی. Thank you so much. Short, very kurti,
First of all, I would like to welcome you all to Kyrgyzstan. My question is for the consultant actually. I'm a filmmaker and 3 of my short films got selected for film festivals in India. So my question is, how do you plan to make it easy for our filmmaker directors to travel to India in case of their films get selected in India's film festivals?
Thank you for this question. Yes, I mentioned to you there are opportunities like events like waves, and there are other programs also where one can easily participate. And as a consulate, we are here to support, facilitate, some visas or some, any other help is required. We have a cultural department. So please, if there is anybody is interested, or there. Of course, if he just finished and in fact it was, we wanted to, we have invited some guests from Kurdistan for the IFI event, which was just finished in November. And but anyway, there is another opportunity soon in February, so all are most welcome.
سبب بسیار برادری کو اگر بيجين ليش كردستاني ليش نبيري في الكون مايشي أنا نجي ليش بيري ليش نبيري برا كاري تديد برسبة دا نرزي وانا قوتي وكي وانا جي داخلي كنا كو دني بيت هين بيت هين أصلا كاريات هين وهر كاري توصل بو هيوا يازده شرایطی که هبو ایونت کامازان هبو او شو ایش کردستان خلقار بود بجالا ما بحثی با دوکر یا صلابه دا و او جدنی بکر و ایونت کامازان هی و شین پریکا کنسولیه وانا بشین تقدیم کن و بچن دوی بسیار مانستان بس کردی اگر بشه
خیرات جنابان که نوع مواري لش گروپ دوهوک سمعه گره مطابقان با فیلمتن دیده دو اگرها ای کلتول من دیگه که دو سمعه نا فیلم دوانده های لی دیدنامه با فیلم با سینما هندی مبالغه گله که حرکی و هزه داره آیا اف مبالغه زبر داره با افسانه ایوان یا با تاگه ایوان از حسکم کیش ما برسده درست
Ismail is a member of folk dance group, folk dance group here, and so he feels that Kurdish and Indian cinema are really our culture are similar due to the deep culture and the diverse, and also the dance. So that as he is in the folk dance group, and so there is a little bit of exaggeration in the actions of using power and things like that. So his question, is that driven from the mythologies, the myths, something about that you have the deities, or it's so he opened the floor to anybody of you to respond. So
you know, I'm not an expert, but let me try. Dance, there are, you know, I'm sure there must be many, you can get the ideas of dance in some of the morals and maybe translate it. And initially, most of the movies are starting in the early days from the, you know, from the main cultural religion based. So maybe I don't know, but one thing which I would like to add is that dance is, we have been, you know, Kurdish troops have visited India twice, last year and this year also, and same. Now our troops are coming here. That shows, irrespective of the movies, but certainly for the people to people, dance is a very good medium to, you know, strengthen the relationship. You can say that. Film, of course, without film, dance it's not possible to imagine an Indian movie. But otherwise, it's good to enjoy dance and music, and today is again the opportunity to do that. Maybe Ms. Gauri can add something or about, she is maybe the expert.
بيجيت صورت وكي بحث كلام كو تشترك وانا سارتاي برهمنا سينمائي كلاك سودش كالتوري وانا وشترك وانا هني كالابوري دا ديرو كي ودا سود جوابي كتير يكار مناي هذا بلكي لان بدانا كو صاحبي كتير ويومان باشمانين أفسانة إيران أو ناف كارن سينمائي دا وهاد بتوجي بحث دانسي كر بحث سماعي كر كو و چند جاره که افامانگی هاتیه کردن که گروپین کردی چوینا هندستانی بیتن هندستانی تابینا کردستانی گروپین سامای آمانا که اولی بی دیار کرد که هفچونه که هایی و حزه که هایی جی نام خلقی داره وقتی بیجیم بشکی کلپوری و هش موزیکی سامای دیگن گره که جان نوف کاتوری ودا ولی خاطر جی بکی آجی بابا کردی سرب سیارتا.
Just in addition to what Sir said, yes, what you said or what you had an assumption, yes, it is from mythology itself. That's what I said, like Indian cinema is only an extension of our being, our culture or our tradition. Everything, it's not only dance. You cannot make one element and stay separate in Indian cinema. We stand it as, we could read it only as together. Dance, music, or action, or whatever element you see in Indian cinema, it is just our culture, and we are depicting our culture with visual imagery. That's the only thing we do, and that is also our winning formula. So if you come to an India, I invite you. If you come to an India and if you visit our temples, you still see even our devatas or our deities that we say, they all will be in a dancing position. And we had a system of Devadasis, and it was a great culture, and we have n number of films made on that. And we worship dance, and each state of ours has each different dance forms. Like Tamil Nadu was Bharatanatyam, sir?
Yes.
And Kuchipudi, Andhra, and Kathakali from Kerala, and sir?
But means Kathak is one.
Kathak is from the northern side, and Bihu from Assam.
Garba.
So if we start taking, every state has a minimum traditional dance form, one. I mean, just not one, we have many. I can just give you many and many more names. So this is an integral part of our culture, and cinema is just taking from our culture and we are making it. And our winning formula is that we are very true to our culture and we hold on tight to our culture. Standing on our culture, we make films so that we are unbeatable in that sense. Thank you so much. I think we have answered it.
جيتكو كالتوري وكالابوري ونويديرين وكي كالاستيكا كو سينما غالاكسوري جيو بيرتيك وشويري واقعي كو كالتوري خوي كارتينا و غير مشيون چنه هنده البرزديه توانا دي كلا جابيج بينا كو خداوان توانا يت هندي دوسيوانا وكي بيكر توانا ببینن که حالتی که وابسته های حالتی که دانسیه یعنی هفکر توی خود چی تزوری تراغایی دوانی بری و شوی فتری و سرحد داره بیجا تکلی که حریف نسبت سینمای کاتوری و کلپوری توی دیدی مختصری رو if you have anything in the last
not the last question but the last comment please right here. I mean, you see my doctor is sitting here, and if I stay silent, you know, I'm stuck between the final exams, and if I stay silent, my doctor will fail me in the final exam, just like every year you do. Chicken, yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah. I'm a student at Jihan University, Duhok. I don't have any specific question, but I just have a comment and just a speech to share with you all. It's a big pleasure to see that our connection with the world is getting higher and we're on business together, and especially here today our meeting is about the 11th edition of Duhok International Film Festival. Well, I'm very proud to see a country like India is here today, and it's an honor for Kurds that have a spirit from different countries and, you know, like mixing culture and tradition. And we all know that how successful it will be for our cinema actors and directors to have a meeting or a business with the Indian, you know, like Bollywood and other things. But the most famous one in here in Kurdistan and Iraq is Bollywood. And I hope in the future we'll see that our actors and movies are getting famous. You know, it's not always about the fame, but like it's the way to make the world hear our voice. And, you know, I hope that this will be the new beginning of success for us. And actually, I do watch Indian movies, and my favorite one is called Marjawan, or Marjawan. I don't know how it's pronounced actually. But yeah, it's something like that. Actually, the movie affected me for a couple of days with sorrow and sadness because the story is about the love, death, and revenge. And actually, it's very painful. Like, you know, like their actions, the movies, even the songs, the music, it also affects us. So yeah, I hope in general I'm proud to see such an honored people here with my big respect for my doctor, Dr. Bala Chandran. And in general, I'm honored to meet you all here and thank you.
Thank you so much. سپاس بوده. اوی کردی بحث اللي في بوكرة كقش حالها قريت شبن أفهم هنگیا و فيلم بيستي بالله تقولي وف كاريو سرجان كلي وكاتورا بيتا يقولوا زو سپاس بو هميا ومدبونا. Thank you very much, Your Excellencies, to give us chance to be here, and we appreciate that a lot. And we are really honored to have you and Indian British culture with our international film festival. And thank you so much.